In this video, we will look at a summary of the Public Finance Management Act, or PFMA for short. As a general background, you should know that the Public Finance Management Act is one of the most important pieces of legislation passed by the first democratic government in South Africa. The Act came into effect from the 1st of April 2000, stemming from several sections in the Constitution of South Africa, which require a legislation to be established in order to regulate the management of public funds. The PFMA is part of a broader strategy by government on improving financial management in the public sector. In broad terms, the PFMA adopts an output-based approach to financial management, which focuses on assigning responsibilities. The Act further promotes the objective of good financial management in order to maximize service delivery through the effective and efficient use of government's limited resources. The key objectives of the PFMA can therefore be summarized as to modernize the financial management systems within the public sector, enable public sector managers to manage, but at the same time, be held more accountable, ensure the timely provision of quality information, and eliminate the waste and corruption in the use of public assets. The PFMA is divided into 12 chapters. Chapter 1 deals with definitions, objects, application and amendments of the Act. This chapter clarifies that the Act applies to national and provincial government institutions, as well as entities under the government control. The chapter further provides a procedure on how to amend the PFMA. Chapter 2 of the PFMA establishes an institution called the National Treasury and deals with its composition, functions, powers and responsibilities. The National Treasury is empowered, among other things, to develop the overall macroeconomic and fiscal framework, coordinate intergovernmental fiscal relations and the budget preparation process, as well as manage the implementation of a budget. Chapter 3, on the other hand, establishes provincial treasuries and outlines their composition, functions, powers, as well as responsibilities. Chapter 4 outlines government's budget process. This chapter further outlines how budgets can be adjusted, and contains a clause on how to deal with unfunded mandates. Chapter 5 provides for the appointment of accounting officers at each and every national and provincial government institution, as well as at publicly owned entities. The chapter also outlines the responsibilities of the accounting officer, and provides implications and consequences where such responsibilities are not adhered to. Chapter 6 of the Act provides for the listing of all public entities under Schedule 2, as well as Schedule 3 of the Act. Schedule 2 lists major public entities which have autonomy, while Schedule 3 covers all the other public entities with lesser degrees of autonomy. This chapter also deals with the responsibilities of the governing boards of these entities. Chapter 7 covers the responsibilities of ministers, as well as responsibilities of MECs. These public officials are referred to as the executive authorities of departments and public entities. Chapter 8 of the Act regulates how, and when, government should borrow funds. The chapter also regulates who can borrow funds, on behalf of any national or provincial government institution. Chapter 9 of the PFMA outlines the areas on which the National Treasury can issue regulations and instructions. The chapter also obligates the appointment and the composition of audit committees. Chapter 10 clarifies acts that would be regarded as financial misconduct, and deals with procedures for disciplining those public officials guilty of such acts. The chapter further provides for criminal prosecution to apply, where there is gross financial misconduct. Chapter 11 establishes an institution called the Accounting Standards Board, which has the power to determine accounting practices to be used in the public sector. Due to the fact that some of the provisions of the PFMA could not be implemented immediately from the 1st of April 2000, Chapter 12 deals with transitional aspects related to the implementation of the legislation, and provided for a phased-in approach for some of the provisions. The PFMA has a number of benefits, which would include providing for greater flexibility, outlining the basis for assessing achievements, providing a link between government plans and budgeting, focusing on outputs, and providing better accountability by clarifying roles and responsibilities. This has been yet another lesson in Public Administration 101. Proudly brought to you by Carno Consultants. For professional advice you can trust. If you liked this video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and colleagues. We also have similar videos under our channel. Please feel free to check them out. Should you want to connect with us, follow us on various social media platforms at Consult Carno.